Rosaries and Atheira. You guys, Rosaries escorts Atheira to the nurse's office, which is in the West Wing, which is where a lot of the martial classes and the cleric classes and healing and stuff like that take place. You escort her there, sort of show her where the nurse's office is, which is where you guys can go to get healed at any point. Obviously, if you start showing up there a little too much, they're going to start asking questions. But it's just a service of, for all of the students of the school. So you take her there, Atheira. You very quickly get healed up by a cleric student who is volunteering to, help out around the nurse's office is what the students call it, but it's called the healing ward. You get healed up, and as you guys go to leave, you bump into Professor Barron, who is standing sort of close to the door, waiting for you guys to finish up. And then as you leave, you see him waiting for you, and he sort of meets your gaze and obviously is going to initiate a conversation, but he's going to let you guys approach first.
Do you want me to take the lead, or do you want to go?
I'll go. I have some experience with him. I'll go up and be like, "Hello, Professor."
It's good to see you, Atheira. How do you think you guys did for the challenge? I know I said that you, by all technicalities, have succeeded and completed the challenge, but how do you guys feel?
I mean, I think a lot of our party is upset. I thought it was a lesson that maybe needed to be learned. I have a lot to think about. What about you? And I look over at Rosaries.
I think it was a poor showcase of our abilities. And I think we could do better. I think I could have done better.
Sure.
So if your goal was to make us want to do better, then you succeeded. But if it was for us to succeed, then I don't think we did.
Well, of course, I think Atheira said it best. It is intended to be a lesson for you all. I believe that though many of you are upset as of right now, given some time, hopefully the others will come to see the purpose of this as well. Rosaries, you asked previously to see the painting, The Greatest Magic, in my office.
Yes, sir.
Would you guys like to come see it now?
I don't even look at Atheira. I just say yes, and then look at her to see if she wants to follow along.
I'll be like, shrug, sure.
Wonderful. Come with me. He guides you guys back through campus, and along the way, he just checks on you guys, make sure that you didn't have any, lasting effects of the spell. You guys weren't feeling overly nauseous or anything. Which, being healed now, you're fine. He takes you up to Baron Tower, which is outside of the main academy building. It's out by Sarosh Hall and the Magi Garden, which you guys have been to before. He walks up to the door, waves his hand in front of it. It clicks open, and he opens the door for you guys, shuts it behind you. And on this first level, you see what looks to be almost like a conference area. There are a couple of sparse bookshelves, but the main attraction of here is this table where people can sit at and talk together. There's a couch in the corner. There is a little fireplace off to the side. It looks to be just a place for people to hang out and talk, or for him to meet with students or things of that nature. He guides you guys up this spiral staircase that sort of goes counterclockwise up through the tower. He goes first, leads you guys up to the second floor, which as soon as you walk in, you notice that is his office area. There is a desk, lots of bookshelves, lots of writing, lots of organized paperwork and things like that. And the other thing that stands out is, if you haven't met her yet, you would meet her now. But Cilia is in his office and sitting in a corner with her feet propped up on a bookshelf, reading. She sees you guys walk in, And then she's not overly familiar with you, so she kind of just goes back to her book. But Professor Barron leads you guys up, and he says, so here we are. And then he ushers you over to the wall across from his desk, motions to this painting, and to describe what it looks like, it is a very, I don't want to say dark and moody, but it's very stylized, like blue and yellow watercolor style with a lot of fine line detail added in. Art of the backs of two, what you would assume to be high elves. They have long white hair. One on the left, one on the right. In the background is the school. You see the spires of the buildings. You see the North Tower. You see a bright campus set off in the distance. And in the foreground is these two elven figures who you can't see their faces, but you see their hands, both of the hands on the inside reaching up, and above them, right where it meets like the spires of the building, just a bright light, which is sort of like connected to the campus. So he shows you this, and he just sits there looking at it for a second. You know, his gaze lingers on those two figures, and then you see his eyes flick up to that light that's sort of at the top, that central figure of this entire painting. And he looks back at you guys, and he says, so, give me your best guesses. It's called The Greatest Magic. What do you think it represents?
Would that light represent the goddess Vela of magic?
He looks at you and gives you a sort of... You can't tell if it's a glare of approval or almost like a I knew you'd say that type thing. Oops. He looks at you and he says, well, that is an excellent guess. I will say that the founder of the school, Illusorin Loomis, was a very devout follower of magic itself. But I do not think the light represents Vela, no.
Saris just looks at Atheira like, I gave it my best shot.
She shrugs. I mean, it's a light. Is it supposed to mean anything?
I think the purpose of any art is to give meaning to things that remind you of what's important to you. So I would say so.
And just to reiterate, it's two high elves, and then there's like a bright light in like the background, and we see the backs of the high elves.
Yes, and to make it a little bit easier to see, let me actually pull up my visual representation.
Let's finally
yeah.
visualize this thing.
Oh, yeah,
that
that-
visual.
Yeah, that's
It's almost like that makes it a lot easier, right? Yeah.
man, yeah.
So
this
again,
is so
this is not
Describing a painting through a book.
perfect.
Very tricky.
This is not perfect, but you see the figures of two elves there with long white hair holding their hands up that are like almost not conjoining, but helping each other. In the background, you see what you assume to be the school's campus, the academic building, the library. You see the large arches of windows and the pillars and the spires that reach up into the sky. This light that forms between these two figures' hands melds into the school, and then it almost like fades into the campus in the background. But like in the center of that light, obviously it's very bright and it's white. So he looks at you again after glancing at this painting again, and he says, Vela is a good guess. You would do well to assume that the goddess of magic and knowledge is something of a light, guidance to others, but I don't think you're quite on the mark.
I'm not the smartest person with magic. I just sort of ask for something to be done and think it, and it just sort of happens. So I'm not the greatest at whatever this is.
I mean, I don't know what the light means, but I think it's nice that they're not alone. I mean, they had standing by each other. That's pretty cool.
Are they like the torch for the next generation of wizards or something?
I think you're getting closer. Yes. From the back of the room, you hear Cilia pipe up. She does not have like a super loud or booming voice by any means, but she does like
I'm a
clear her
dirty.
throat a little bit, and she just says loud enough for you guys to hear without even looking up from her book. Like you turn around and see her as she says this. She says, "It might help to know that the two figures, one of them is the founder of this school, and the other one is standing right beside you." And she looks up at you guys, gives that sort of half smile, and then goes back down to reading her book. Baron nods to what she says and clarifies to you guys. It might help to also not assume that this painting is about any studied magic at all.
Atheira looks at Baron and goes, "You're that old?"
Well, I would like to say that it warms my heart that was a surprise to you. I do try to take care of myself, but yes, I am that old.
It's the other person. Are they still alive?
No. Illycerin died a long, long time ago. Well over 100 years. Actually, I don't know if that's accurate. Let me check my notes.
While he's doing that, Atheira, what is going on? I don't know what this painting's about.
Okay, I lied. It was almost 50 years ago. So instead of saying 100 years, he says he did die a long, long time ago. Almost 50 years now.
Yeah, that's a lifetime.
Shame, DM. Shame.
My fault. I don't have the entire history of the world memorized yet.
What?
Um,
Athira's gonna kind of like lean over after, Rizara said this, and I don't really know what he means either, but given the fact that we just did a team building exercise, and these two obviously seem to be close, it probably has something to do about friendship.
no cliched, but probably. Perhaps it's the greatest magic is that which someone close to you teaches you and can pass on.
Baron gives a sort of soft half smile to you guys. And he says, I'll let you ponder on the meaning of this painting. It's more for my entertainment than it is for any academic purposes. But I figure I will let you know. I've already decided on your group's challenge for the next week. It should go without saying that despite having some success with this previous challenge, it was not without flaw. And I believe that the more we can have your team understand each other and connect with each other, at least to work together, the more successful you might be in the coming semesters. So, for this up-and-coming week, the upperclassmen are putting on the welcome week with all of the clubs doing activities each afternoon. I'm going to let you two relay the challenge to the others that you are to attend these together as a group. If you manage to do that without anybody leaving or dying, I suppose we could consider that another success.
Our challenge is to attend parties?
Well, only one of them should really be a party. The rest of them should be an insight on the connections that your upperclassmen have with each other.
Are you sure I can't fight another statue?
I will let you if you'd like.
I don't want to have to go back to the nurse's office. They were kind of glaring at me. I've been there a few times already.
I figured.
Professor, what happens if our party just doesn't ever get along? Like, can we get reassigned?
It is very rare for reassignments to be made of groups made in the first semester. It's not impossible. It's very, very rare. If it gets to the point where your fellow professors and I do not think it possible to mend some of these issues, then yes, we could potentially reassign you.
Look, I don't know if I will be friends with someone from the Church of Corteus. My reasons are my own, but I'm here to improve. And if you require me to be on a team, I will work with the team. I will do my best.
As you say that, Celia's gonna sort of fold up her book, set it back on the bookshelf where she was reading it from. She's gonna very quietly and gently like walk over to the staircase, and as she's walking, you see her point a finger at Professor Barron, and then he, after a second or two, like gives an affirming nod to her, and she turns invisible and heads off down the stairs. And he continues the conversation with you by saying, I am not asking you to be friends with the people of your group. I'm simply asking you guys to attempt to work together well enough to survive until you can request a new group.
I will make sure there are no fatalities in my party.
That is all I could ask.
Also, it's cool that she turned invisible. I wish I knew how to do that.
She could probably teach you. It's a talent of hers.
I don't think that's the case.
He looks back at the painting for a second, and then in almost like a more casual format, crosses his arms and looks back to you guys, and he says, You say that. I've learned that anyone with enough desire can become a wizard. It's not like you have to be born with any real talent to do anything with it. Anyways, let's get you on your way to collecting the rest of your group, letting them know of the challenge of the coming week, and I hope to hear nothing but success.
Yes, sir. And Rosaris will turn around, walk down.
As you guys, Atheira, I'm assuming you go too?
Yeah, I'll follow him.
Yeah. Led by Rosaris, the two of you head downstairs to where you walk past this little entrance area. You head out the door, which is actually held open for you, and you guys begin to walk out, sort of looking at the door as it closes behind you, and then you hear the voice of Celia from beside you guys just say, Wow, y'all's group is, it's really something. Which I'm assuming could potentially startle you guys. Atheira, you probably have a high enough passive perception to like realize that the door is being held open, but maybe you guys are surprised, maybe you're not. I'll let you decide.
I'm not surprised.
I think Rosaris would just assume it was like a magic door that Baron was doing something with. So I might be a little surprised.
So you just, jump just a little bit, not expecting to hear a voice there.
I chuckle because I absolutely saw that.
Celia pauses for a second to let you gather your bearings, and she says, Yeah, y'all's party is, it's not doing great.
Aren't all first years like this?
Not really.
Are you a first year?
Yeah.
Can I do an insight check on the most half-hearted yeah I've ever heard in my life?
Absolutely, you can.
11.
Cool. You definitely think that, like, her hesitation was in part because she is attempting to tell the truth. And it sounds like she just doesn't know what the answer to that would be. But she says yes, and then kind of doubles down on it. And she's like, yeah, I'm a first year.
You seemed unsure. Are you related to Professor Barron or something?
No. At least I don't think so. But, some people say all high elves are related. Could be a thing. Now, as you guys sort of walk past the tree line from Baron Tower and past the Roche Hall, she says, Listen, I'm going to go talk to Lucian for you guys. You guys go collect the rest. I'll go see how he's doing.
Wait, we're collecting them now?
No, you're just informing them of the challenges as far as I know.
I don't think they want to talk.
I'll go talk to them.
You feel a like stillness in the air as she's like not even moving, and then she just says, "Good luck," and then you hear the footsteps walk away into Soroshal, leaving you guys there. And from there, I'm gonna let you guys decide what to do. You could tell them today. You could tell them tomorrow, at homeroom. It is up to you.
I think we might as well tell them as quickly as possible so we can start working on our team cohesion.
Sure.
I'll tell you what, Atheira. I will talk to Marcel, Kieran, and Leo.
Don't make me talk to Gwen.
If you want to go talk to Gwen.
No.
And Rosaris is gonna walk off and start heading.
Rosaris, don't make. I'm going to punch that face if it wouldn't break my fist.
Twilight reference?
I will head to, I guess, the magic dorm, right? Because that Marcel and Leo are both.
No. Marcel lives in Soroshal. Leo lives in Carnegie?
I don't know. I'll go talk to Marcel first.
Marcel. I know Marcel lives in Soroshal. So you leave Atheira sort of in the dust as you quickly walk back up to Soroshal, which is just right there beside you guys.
Celia, hold the door again.
You see the door, like, as it's closing, stop and swing back open as she holds it open for you.
This is such a cool trick.
Thanks. Yeah. You continue walking. Celia's pretty quiet as you walk. She sees you walking in, and she's like, I'm assuming you're looking for Marcel's dorm.
Yeah.
Cool. Right side, second door down, and then you hear her footsteps lead off to go down the left side upstairs.
You're either really smart or really creepy.
You don't hear a response back.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk off.
You go up to Marcel's room.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
You just hear
I'm just gonna knock on the door again.
Then you hear a because he fires the Eldritch Blast at the door to open it.
Does that mean come in? I'm just gonna open the door that's probably slightly off its hinges.
What?
Look, I'm not a monk or a cleric or anything. I'm not a counselor. If something's wrong, you're gonna just have to tell me. I'm not gonna be able to figure this out.
It's fine. I just need a break. So, how's it going?
Good, and I think you'll like our next mission, our next challenge. We just have to...
Is it us replacing bodies again?
I don't think so. He didn't specify that. But the challenge is to just go be social, which seems up your alley, I think. We have to go to the the events that are coming up in the next week or something like that as a party.
Yeah.
Thanks
for telling me.
I take it you didn't like switching bodies? Not that I did.
Well, no, I mean, there is kind of a charm of being a body of a person as uptight Lucian, but it was just a very uncomfortable situation to be in during the time.
I can agree with that. Imagine going from this to a rogue. It's unnatural.
Yeah. It's definitely, I understand what they're trying to go for, but it really didn't work out for me. So, yeah.
Look,
I'm going to be a little off for a while.
I get it. If you want to be left alone, I am all in favor of that because I generally want to be left alone.
Thanks, man.
But look, if you need something, I can help as much as I can. I'm not the best, but out of everyone in the party, you're probably the one person I would not mind continuing to work with.
Yeah, that means a lot, man.
But also, I'll try to find someone with mending on my way out the dorm to fix your door.
Well, that's like 80% of everyone here, right?
Yeah, I'll just yell. I'll just be yelling down the hallway that your door needs fixed.
Yeah, I mean, Don't worry, mending is like a very simple cantrip that people know here.
Yeah, you would think that they would just pass by and cast mending on it. Honestly, it doesn't do anything.
I know. I've been trying to fire Elder Blast everywhere, and every time we come back, it's all been mended. Kind of sad.
I think you do need to find the school counselor because there's something there. But I'm gonna go before I'm the target of the Eldritch Blast. So
I don't attack my own teammates, man.
That's fair. I hope not to.
Yeah.
I'll say it that way. But
Thank you, Zaris.
Yeah, I'll see you later. And if you need anything, just, I guess, ask.
Yeah.
And I'll walk back out the door and I'll try to, like, write it to get it back in its correct foundation.
No, it's on the other side. It's the other side. No,
my bad.
Right. Okay, I'll fix it.
Okay, my bad. Towards the door, and I'm going to kind of sit there for a second, like, oh, the door's not going to open on its own this time. Push it open.
Nice. Who is the next person that you're going for?
Like geographically speaking, what's the next closest one?
So you have Kieran and Leo left. Kieran, I believe you live in Xanth Hall. Leo, I think, lives in Carnegie.
So I'll go to.
Yeah.
I'll go to Carnegie Hall, then Xanth Hall, because that's on my way down to my own dorm room.
Nice. You go into Carnegie Hall. You find Leo's room fairly easily. It's not super big. This is not a massive campus. So you find the room with his name on it off to the side. How do you proceed with this?
I'm going to bang on the door.
Leo's going to open the door very slowly.
Look, I've been told what our next mission, our next event, whatever they're calling it, I forget, for the next week is, you know, all of those events that are going to be hosted throughout the week.
Sure.
We have to go to them as a party. That's our next mission. And specifically, you said no one's allowed to die. So I'm pretty sure that means you're going to have to be there for sure.
Interesting. Then what's the next mission?
I don't know what the next mission is. It's just going to those things is our next event. And we have to go as a party. So
that's rough. Okay. Sure. I guess. Have you already talked to everyone else?
I have talked to Marcel. He's, for the first time since I've met him in the past week, is not very social. So that's interesting.
That's very interesting. I guess let me know when everybody's ready to go, maybe.
Well, I think it'll be throughout the week, so we'll just meet at the events, I suppose. But
sure.
Look, it's very obvious that I don't trust you, and I don't particularly like you. And I know that it's unfair for me to believe that way, but for once my emotions are outweighing my logical inclinations.
Okay.
So it's not entirely your fault. And I would like to work together. But I may not be able to call you my friend for a very long time.
Sure. I'm going to be honest with you, Azaris. I don't know how to respond to that. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm sure that one day we could get to know each other and, I don't know, become fairly acquainted.
That's fine. For now, I will continue to be on the front line. I will continue to do my job, and if need be, I will protect you as well.
Same goes for me. I appreciate your honesty.
So I will let you go back to your studying. It looks like you were doing. So
Let me know what's going on.
I will. I'm sure we'll discuss things during homeroom when we officially get our mission, I suppose.
Sure. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Rosaris.
Yeah. See ya.
Shuts
All right.
the door.
With that, Leo closes the door. Rosarius heads off to go find Kieran. But before we get to that, Atheira, you're going to find Gwen, who also lives in Santh Hall, I believe. It's not going to be hard to find her room, really. You show up. How do you approach the situation?
I'm gonna walk to her door. I'm gonna stand there and look at it. Be like, really, why would I have to tell her? She can just figure it out on her own. And I'm like gonna turn around to walk away. And then turn back to the door and be like, no. Yeah, no. I'm gonna hesitantly knock, like so softly to just hope that like she doesn't hear it and I can just say she wasn't there and walk away.
Before you even get the opportunity to knock, because this is fairly shortly after this whole challenge took place on the last one. It's been maybe 30 minutes. You are sitting there in the hallway, you turn away, you turn back just to say that you did. As you turn back, the door swings open and she walks out, almost bumping into you, and then steps back, sees you there. And I'll let you roll an insight on just her body language to see how she is feeling before she even says a word.
16.
It's pretty good. She is... I don't want to say angry. That's not the word I'm going for. It's almost a little agitated, a little disappointed. Like, it's definitely a negative feeling that she has. And you're having a hard time placing whether it's more towards the I'm disappointed in the party or I'm disappointed in myself. But it's somewhere on that spectrum. She walks out, clearly very, like, it almost like feels like she's annoyed. And she has her bow on her back. She's got her armor on. She's got like a quiver of arrows with her. She almost bumps into you, and she just looks at you and she just says, "What are you doing here?"
I was looking for you.
Well, you found me. And she shuts the door and acts like she's about to start walking off.
We have our next assignment.
She pauses, just like, a foot from you, turns on her heel, says, "Right, well, out with it then."
Could ask nicer.
"Out with it then, please."
Professor Barron said that we have to go to the upperclassmen events. I guess they're happening this week. We have to go together, and nobody is allowed to die. So maybe you could not shoot me this time.
She ponders for a second. She just says, "All that welcome week stuff that we talked about in homeroom, we have to go to that."
Oh yeah, I guess. I don't know, I wasn't really interested in going to it in the first place, so I didn't listen.
She laughs a little bit, like chuckles to herself. She turns and walks away, and as she's walking away, she just says, "Fat chance," and then she's off down the hall.
It's a complete waste of time. We're just gonna walk away. If there's an exit that is not the way she went, that's the way I'm going.
Sure. We'll say there's a back door that you, like, walk around for a minute to find and then leave out. Gwen is off to do her own thing. She might be in sporadically throughout the week. You don't know. But she does not seem very participant in this specific challenge. Rosaris, the last person that we're going for here is Kieran, correct?
Yeah.
Nice. You are walking through the hallways, scanning the nameplates beside the door, and you find the one that says Kieran. You stop. You're looking at the door.
Just steels himself. Like, how is he gonna talk to me? This is... I got lucky with Marcel not being social. Let's hope I go 3 for 3. And I'm just gonna knock on the door normally.
Oh, who is it? Do I owe you money?
Unless you've stolen it from me, no. It's Rosari's.
Oh, not yet. Okay, you can open the door if you want.
I'm gonna open the door, and because I'm going into your room, I'm gonna, like, open it and, like, look to see if there's a bucket, look to see if there's a tripwire. Just slowly open the door.
Just see me lounged out, kinda scribbling in a book. Look up to you. We close it and put it aside. Welcome to my room. My chaotic roommate isn't here, so it's just me and you. What could I do to owe the pleasure of talking to the great Visaris?
One, you did well in the mission. Thank you. You did a lot better in my body than I did in yours. All I knew was to run very fast, so good job.
Well, I need to talk to the rest of the party about that. All you guys seem to be very silver spoon in mouth.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. You may have been in my body, but you have not lived my life.
Ditto.
No, and I did not claim to. Look, I'm here because Professor Barron told us essentially we suck as a team and we passed, but not very well. And we need to go to these upperclassmen welcome event things in the next week, and that's going to be our mission.
Mission.
Yeah, and we have to go as a party, so we have to go together.
I don't have a suit to wear. Okay, whatever. Sounds good. I'm just gonna finish this poem up here and be on my way anyways.
Good for you. I'm not very
Oh,
artistic, so...
It's not about your lady, don't worry. This is about that Echo lady. Oh, mwah. That was something else.
I would very much enjoy seeing you be rebuffed by her.
Rebuffed? She was eating me up with her eyes.
Right after she would slit you into pieces with her sword.
I'd be into that. Anyways,
This next mission is going to be more difficult than I thought.
I'm the only reason we lived the last time.
And I'm the only reason why the Echo lived. What's your point? I tried to work as a team just as much as you did.
My point is, you guys think with the Bukutunggung, I think of the how are we going to contain the situation? Do you know what it's like to be chased for the rest of your life? It's not fun. Ropes are my favorite thing in the world, and you will learn how to use them. Or did I try?
I prefer just doing something my own way rather than your way.
That's okay. You'll learn the ease of my way soon enough. Very personally as well.
I will not pretend to know whatever that meant. Either way, we have to go to those things as a party. And unfortunately, that includes both you and me together. So, let's go. Whenever that is.
Sounds good. I will be there, all polished up. And, you put a nice smile up, right?
No. And Rosars is going to walk out the door.
Fantastic.
Whatever.
The rest of the evening sort of rolls by. You guys have that entire weekend. If you would like to do anything over that time, I will just let you guys let me know how you want to approach that, and then we will get to the stuff through the week. So, specifically over the weekend, is there anything that you guys plan to do?
I've got something.
Let's hear it.
Of course you do.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
I am tracking down that lovely lady and presenting that poem finally, because I need to do that before I forget.
To Kada or to Ella?
To Kada first.
Gotcha.
I'm not.
I will let you know she's in your homeroom class, which will meet Monday. So you could track her down and give it to her, like, privately. or you could give it to her before or after homeroom. Not necessarily with an audience, but with other people around. Which one would you like to do?
Like to do is to find her walking around and leave a note for her to meet me by outside the dorms during like sunset for me to present it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you stake out her room in Carnegie Hall, and you actually, after you finish up this conversation with Rosaries, you bump into Atheira as she's going back to her room, and then you see that they are roommates. Like, you're both walking down the hall, and you're like, oh, I think that's her room. I see your nameplate on it, and then you see the one below it, and it says Atheira. And you're like, how wonderful. How convenient.
I'm like, oh, Atheira, how's it going today?
What are you doing here?
Oh, you know, just dropping a letter off for your lady roommate. It's important and private for now.
Is it the poem?
No, it's not the poem. But it's an invitation.
An invitation to the poem?
Potentially. I don't mean to be rude to infiltrate her room. Could you please put it on her pillow?
Yeah, please don't infiltrate my room. I'll take it.
Thank you very much. Please make sure she reads it.
Oh, please. I want to see Rosari's reaction. I'll make sure she'll read it.
Wonderful.
With
As well,
that-
do
Go ahead,
you need anything? Like, are you enjoying the food here and everything? Anything that I can source for you?
Kieran, you just seem that's so suspicious. What are you up to?
Never mind. If you need anything, just ask as I skip off.
I'm gonna, just kind of shake my head, look down at the letter, and then I'll go back into my room.
Sure. It is getting into the evening time at this point. It is well after dinner. The sun is going to be setting relatively soon. And Kata comes back into the room probably like an hour after that interaction. So however Atheira would spend that time, Kata's going to walk in at some point, and then you can strike up this conversation.
I'm sitting there having a cup of tea, reading a book. When she comes in, I'll be like, "Oh, welcome back.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good. It's fine. How are you?"
That challenge was kind of tough. I'm not going to lie. It was kind of tough.
What'd you have to do?
We had to play capture the flag with upperclassmen who have a lot more experience than we do. And,
Capture the flag.
yeah. Apparently, in the words of Professor Ranth, our party members are all very smart, very intelligent people. We just don't have a lot of practice using that intelligence for, objective-based scenarios. Like, the majority of our party reads books or tinkers or something along those lines, but having to strategize is just such a different issue altogether. She tosses her bag down by her bed and sits on it. She says, "What about you? You guys apparently had that interesting one that Professor Rance talked about."
The whole time Kate is talking, Atheira just looks incredibly confused, and she just responds, "Flags are not that hard to capture."
Oh, they are whenever it's a third-year party who can turn the flag invisible and turn themselves invisible and push you down a flight of stairs and hold you up with one arm. It was a lot.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, we had to fight a statue. One of those big, I don't know, it was rock. But I was in Leo's body, and
Huh?
Gwen was in my body. We got all switched up. it was really weird. Really weird.
Interesting. Sure. Okay, so you fought a statue in each other's bodies.
Everybody got really mad. Your brother got really mad.
She is going to specifically, like, you see her eyes almost flick to you a little bit when you say brother, and she's just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Can I see if I can understand what that eye flick means?
Yeah, you could roll an insight check.
Please, thank you. Dirty 20.
Ooh. That just barely beats what she rolled. She got like what is that, a 19? She got a 19. You try to read her body language for this, and without just straight up giving it away, obviously when you said brother, it's almost like that's not a term that she uses for this situation a lot. But then the way that she went along with it tells you that either one of two things. One, which is the one that you think is true, is that it's a fairly accurate statement, kind of like with the first year situation with Cilia earlier, where she was like, I don't really know the answer, but that one seems to be the closest. Or that she went along with it almost to hide whatever it was. But you get the feeling that she's like, I don't really say brother a lot, but I guess so, yeah. And she continues by asking you, like, so you guys had to fight a statue in each other's bodies, and everybody's upset. I feel like I'm missing some important details there, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah. I think Baron thinks our party has teamwork problems.
Oh,
And
do you
he's
not?
probably right. Oh. Oh, we do.
From what I've heard, you guys are... Yeah, it seems like it.
I mean, to be fair, I've never really worked in a team before, so maybe that's just how it is.
Well, I guess first time for everything, right?
I guess. By the way, speaking of my teammates, somebody left a letter here for you. I'm gonna hand it over to her.
She'll hop off her bed, walk over and take it, read it with a hand on her hip. What does it say, Kieran?
It says, Dear the most gracious and beautiful Kada, I humbly request to present a piece of bardic inspiration to you outside of the dorms this evening at sunset.
She reads over it, her eyebrows furrow as she goes along the lines, and then she stops and folds it, and she just says, bardic inspiration. Okay. Who left this?
Oh, he didn't leave his name.
Oh, it'll say my name.
Okay, it'll say Kieran. Okay, she'll say,
Yeah.
this is
Okay, roast you.
this is the redhead, right?
Yeah, it's the redhead.
Well, I guess I'll go see what this is about.
Can I? Do you mind if I, like, I don't know, turn into like a squirrel or something and watch? I just think it would be highly amusing.
She looks at you and she says, you know what? I would actually appreciate that. I don't know a lot of your party that well, other than one person's descriptions, but having a second person just in case isn't a bad thing.
Did the letter say it's going to be indoors or outdoors?
Just outside.
Okay, I will wild shape into a squirrel and follow her and then become inconspicuous.
Yeah, you guys walk outside of Carnegie Hall, which is right up beside the main academy building. There's a couple of trees. You can see the sun setting off in the east, shining a lot of brilliant light on the campus. Very warm glow. It's like that right before it turns to dusk, golden hour type situation. You guys walk outside. What is Kieran doing as Atheira walks out and Kada walks out? Can you roll me a stealth check with advantage, Atheira?
Yeah.
Because you're just walking straight out the door.
As a squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the squirrel's just like. "Dut, dut, 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 dut."
Oh my word. Yeah, this is not good. Where's my stealth?
I'm assuming your stealth is good because your dex would be good. Be like a +4.
Yeah, but I rolled a 5 with advantage. And my stealth? Yeah, I got a 6.
Kieran, do you watch as Kato walks out and very awkwardly there's a squirrel that was just in the building that sort of hops, out onto the ground and then scurries up a nearby tree. As Kato looks around and sees you, what are you doing?
I'm kind of like, I find like a nice little stump, and I'm like making sure the sun's kind of like on me nicely, doing up my hair nicely. Hello, I'm pleasure to see you. As I look at the squirrel and I kind of give a glare.
I will say there probably aren't any stumps in this area, but there's definitely like the trees that are right beside campus that you could like, or not campus, but the dorm building that you can like lean up against and be right there in the sunlight.
A nice rock. I need a Captain Morgan pose.
Okay, yeah. You definitely find like a rock or some sort of situation to hoist yourself up on. She walks up probably about 5 or 6 feet from you, and she just says, Kieran, right?
Yeah, I was the one who presented you the amazing combat we did, and you seemed very engaged in it, and I thought, wow, I was just enamored with how you were about that, and I decided to compose something to relay what I was feeling about you.
Sure, she says with like almost like a devious smile on her face. Like she really wants to see how this goes.
Oh no. I compose myself.
She stands there
like
with
poetry.
her arms crossed. And she's like, I do. I actually really enjoy poetry.
Okay. As glistening as midnight stars, as the morning sun graces your eyes, a smile as flowing as endless rivers, and a scent that brings men to sighs. May I grace your hand, see you through the walks as academia. Let the world be blessed by your smile, the darkened yet glorious smile. May I see to you a grace, be blessed to see you a meal under the setting sun's face. A date of fair teal, a date to recant upon. And I bow.
She gives a nice little clap. Very, very soft, very quiet. She just says, that was pretty good.
Thank you. If you ever would like to grab a meal with me sometime, I'd love to get to know you better.
How's Atheira doing in this moment after that whole thing happened?
Am I still just standing there?
No, you're
beside
like,
her?
I'm assuming you're up a tree nearby.
Yeah, okay.
Squirrel just standing there with its arms on its hips.
Yeah, right.
It's just like,
I would have started giggling like halfway through it. So if I'm close enough, if my stealth is still bad, you would just hear like that of like a little squirrel laughing.
I look up and I know you. I have a feeling it's you, but I don't know for sure. So I'm just kind of like, oh boy, I love the squirrels giggling at me now.
Yeah, you like look up at that as you recite the poem, and then after that little interaction, Kata says, I like to take things a little slower, not very quick to trust. So how about we just eat lunch together with our parties, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Sounds good to me. I just like to get to know you in general, and I'm much better at explaining things under these circumstances.
Sure. Sounds like a plan to me.
What is your story with Vizaris anyways?
I think if you take me to a really good meal, I'll tell you that story.
Well, you're talking to a man who likes a really good meal with a lovely woman such as yourself, so we can arrange that.
She gives a polite smile, sort of like uncrosses her arms from her chest, folds up the note, puts it back in her pocket, and she just says, was a good poem. You should write some more. And then
Thank
she
you.
is gonna start to slowly take her leave. And after she gets a couple of steps away, she's gonna turn back to you, give you a little wave, and then head off back into Carnegie Hall.
I yell up to the squirrel. Did you enjoy it?
I'm going to, like, try and act as naturally squirrel-like as possible and leave.
I will say we've only had one other squirrel make an appearance, and he has a habit of one specific thing that you could definitely do.
Okay. I see. Are there any like little tree nuts around?
Yeah.
I'm gonna launch it.
Give me a, I don't know what to call this. It's just gonna be like a D20 plus your dex plus I guess 2.
Okay.
Squirrels are proficient in not throwing.
22.
Yeah. Where do you hit him with this acorn?
Can I hit him right between the eyes?
Yeah. Kieran, you're standing there, and this squirrel that you like heard up in the trees, an acorn just like flies out from a gap and just pegs you right in the forehead.
Kieran looks up and says, "If you are just a squirrel, or something else, something that frickin' hates me, just know you're gonna pay for that, and I'm gonna make you suffer dearly." As I walk away. Like, I almost, like, completely switch from happy-go-lucky to I want to kill you, and I walk away.
As Kieran leaves, Atheira, you hear some like movement on some branches as another squirrel bounces across some of the tree limbs and walks up and sits beside you, and he just says, "Good throw. That was good."
Thanks. Are they always so murderous after you hit them?
Typically. That's what makes
Doesn't
it fun.
faze you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if he asks me, I'm gonna tell him you did it.
Rude.
I'm the to see him daily. He's gonna kill one of us. I'd rather it be the one he's, doesn't actually have a chance of getting.
Good point. He'll have trouble catching me. Toodaloo,
That's
and he hops off on some more branches and scurries down and runs across campus.
I'm gonna also hop down and I'm gonna go back to my dorm room. But if I could find somewhere to like wild shape before, unless I can get in my window, if I can like do some branches to get in my window.
You go over some tree limbs and then like hop down onto your window, and Kata's like entering the room and she sees you on the windowsill and she opens it up and lets you climb in. Shuts the window behind you. She sits on her
Cool.
bed and she's just waits for you.
I will morph back into my regular form and I'll be like, "So what'd you think?"
That was interesting. Did he call my smile dark?
To be honest, I probably lost focus about halfway through. Did he call it dark?
I didn't, but
There was something about dark in there.
I feel like we need a copy.
Yeah. Need a copy to reference.
I said it flowed like endless rivers.
What was the line about dark?
Basically that school is a darkened mile as it is stressful.
Oh.
I can post it if you want.
I mean, yeah, go ahead and send it to us so we can look at it. But she's like, it was very sweet. It was very nice. I appreciated it.
I mean, as much as I want to make fun of it, it was actually decently written, so
Yeah.
you have to give him that.
I will say, the rhyming scheme was good. Some of the, symbolism was really good. I just, I'm a little impressed.
Yes.
Although I will say that line about bringing men to size, I feel like that's maybe where I lost it. I think I started laughing then.
We'll just see how the week goes. I don't know if you caught that, but I might eat lunch with you guys every once in a while. I might invite some of my party members to join me.
Atheira like kind of takes a deep sigh, and then it's like, "Oh no, It's just more people, not you. I like you. Just
Thanks. No, I don't want to say I get it because I like being around a lot of people. Kind of helps me blend in a little bit, I guess. But I can understand. Anyway, I guess I'm gonna do a little bit of reading. I might, warm myself up on some poetry if this is how this school year is gonna go. So, yeah, I'm gonna get ready for bed. That was fun. And she walks down to the bathroom where she's gonna, settle for the night.
cool. I will go back to my book that I was reading before she came in.
Word. From there, the next morning comes. It's Monday. Classes are starting back up. We got homeroom later in the day, but before we get to that, let's take our break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, so I'll see you guys all here pretty soon.
Well,
Then I'll
Yeah.
start
Yeah,
to tell her
yeah,
about
just a little
how
bit.
I've already because I was you in the
Yeah.
thing. So I'll just be
Yeah,
like,
so you know my body.
exactly.
I can tell you, he was packing. He was packing.
And
Let
we're
me tell
back
you, he
on the
is built up.
stream. Woo! Hey guys.
And he was packing.
And he was packing because he works at Amazon.
Oh
No,
my
because he
God.
has a huge,
Mace.
Work ethic.
A huge mace.
a huge work ethic.
Anyway. So let's jump back into these things. So like I said, the rest of the weekend sort of drifts by. You guys have homework that you're doing. You guys have training. Just to go down the list really quick, you guys can tell me sort of what your character spends the weekend doing, montage style. Let's start. Rosaries, how's the weekend go?
One, I probably would have given Taz his piece of armor back after I'd worked on it, just to make sure. He probably needs that before going on any missions. So, got that done.
Word.
And then for the most part, it's time spent training with Beatrice, and a lot of that is me, like, verbally critiquing her fighting style, like, as we're dueling each other, trying to make her better, because she's going to be the paladin in Kata's party.
Yeah, I like it. So we got dueling, we got returning Taz's armor piece. Marcel.
For today, for what he would do over the weekend is definitely go crazy on the homework, because he probably was when he was going through a lot, so he didn't really focus on it for a bit, and now he's like trying to play the catch-up game. He's like, why this mountain of homework?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you have like probably 2 or 3 short papers that you have to write for to launch. One of them might even be late, like it was supposed to be turned in Friday, but you didn't get it turned in. So to launch is giving you like a lot of, I don't want to say busy work, but like it's not easy. It takes time. You got to pull out the books and like do summaries and stuff like that. Professor Malik, much easier. He's giving you like practical homework, like, hey, go out and shoot Eldritch Blast and practice. That's it.
While he's like turning the pages, you just see him. It's just firing the outbreath above him in the ceiling.
The ceiling.
Hey,
keeps
stop that!
shaking.
Aim.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Starts firing at the ceiling again.
Hell yeah. Leo, how does the weekend go?
I would imagine Leo is mostly studying. He stays in his studies most of the time, but he's probably also helping Lysilda with her healing. She needed help, so I imagine they would have gotten together and done some of that.
Yeah, I'll say just to sort of loop this all together, Lysilda still wanting to practice, she offers to help Rosaries and Beatrice, and you guys can accept or decline. It's up to you. But she wants to help with that, so you might tag along and say like, yeah, I'll come too, give you some pointers, and get some practice in too. So Rosaris, Beatrice is all for it. What about you?
I want my healer in top condition as well, so I'll let him practice with Lysilda.
Boom. So you guys in some training times, Beatrice and you going back and forth. Sometimes she kicks your ass, sometimes you kick hers. It's a back and forth. Lysilda, despite being a paladin as well, she is focusing on like upping her healing magic game. She does spar a little bit, but she's not like super stressed about it. She seems comfortable with it. And Leo, you help her get some of that healing magic down. Atheira.
Gonna spend some time with my herb garden and probably get some more plants. Also warming up to Kata a lot more, so if there's, different things where she's like, hey, we're going out to a cafe, I would actually maybe go along and quietly watch as the rest of her and her friends are being loud. And then just reading and keeping up with homework.
Absolutely. Pretty chill weekend. Not too much happening. It's nice. Kieran, how about you?
I'm basically just reading over the rest of my plans, because on Monday I want to execute my final Mission Impossible.
Hell yeah. You'd love to see it. And then...
I'd also like to just kind of watch them do their sparring from like afar and kind of feel jealous that I kind of want to join, but I'm too high up in my own domain to join.
Yeah, the area that they're practicing in is in the West Wing. There's like this huge, big open room where a lot of the classes are held, but then obviously after class time, it's just free as a like big open sparring area. There's multiple sections where students can go to spar. There's like a big open area where you could have like smaller team fights maybe. There's a bunch of dummies and stuff like that. You just find like a corner to sit in and you're working on stuff watching them for sure. Lastly would be Gwen and Lucian. Just to give you guys an idea of what they're doing, Lucian is probably going to spend most of this time locked in his room. He is studying, doing homework, probably more than even needs to be done. And then Gwen is, after the recent challenge, and after actually the challenge before that with the Ankheg, she is just spending all of her time down in Roche Plaza and in the forest. She is tracking, practicing archery, helping out Ranth with a couple of just small things of like, hey, what do I need to do to get better? Oh, go see if you can find this animal out in the forest. Don't like kill it, but see if you can track one and find one. That sort of thing. So Monday rolls around. You guys go to your classes. Marcel, you turn in some homework. The rest of the professors sort of check in on you guys, see how the first week went. Sort of easing into things, going pretty slow. Only a couple of professors are really assigning a lot of homework at this point. But, classes come and go. We don't have to spend a lot of time talking about those. The interesting thing is going to happen whenever you guys get to homeroom with Professor Ranth. You all walk down to Roche Plaza, the 5-minute walk that it is down there. And you guys get in. Ranth takes attendance. Looks like everybody's there. You guys look around, and it seems like Lucian is not there. Gwen is. She's like off in a corner. She's kind of off in her own world, almost pulling a Lucian, and she has like her head in a book, and she's half paying attention to what's going on in the class. Lucian's not even in the class. Professor Ranth starts it off, and she says, right, well, welcome back, guys. First week was overall pretty successful. I don't think there's much for us to complain about. Being your first actual challenge, I think that things went pretty well. Couple quick shout outs here. Cilia, you did absolutely fantastic in y'all's challenge. Your use of turning invisible to capture the flag that the third years had was not only a show of talent, but also a good strategy. Lysilda, Balon, absolutely fantastic combat abilities. You guys really showed up and showed out the other day. Everybody did good. Just wanted to give a couple shout outs to everybody. The agenda for this week, we have the Welcome Week activities that'll be held every single day after classes. The Orda Arcana is actually setting up their stuff right now, and it should be ready here pretty soon. So go grab dinner, go see them, and go visit some upperclassmen, see how they're doing. Meet some people, join a club, do something fun. Yeah, Zach, I fixed it. You're welcome. She continues on saying, we have some more feedback for the challenges. For Kata, Beatrice, Celia, Cyvic, Denny, Thatch, you guys did pretty good, but still need some work on the strategy compartment. So we're going to continue working on that this upcoming Friday. Barry, Lysilda, Talon, Delphina, Balon, Leothric, Simon, all of you guys, we're going to switch things up a little bit. You guys did pretty good with the splitting off into different groups. We are going to see how you guys operate solo in this upcoming challenge. And then, I believe Professor Barron gave you guys your challenge already?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we did.
Wonderful. Excellent. All right. Well, if that's the case, I'm not going to hold you guys. I will see you Friday whenever we meet up to disperse for the challenges. For now, go have fun. That's like half of the school. So go meet people. Go do things. Have fun activities. Get out of my room. Bye. And she waves you guys
leaves.
I'm already gone.
out.
Bye,
You guys
guys.
file out of the room. What does that look like? Because you guys are supposed to meet back up and join together to go to this. What happens?
Marcel will definitely try to just hurry up and get out of there. He doesn't care. Just move. He'll stop whenever time anyone else in the group would decide, hey, this is where we're gonna meet up. So Marcus can just move out of the room.
Gotcha. So you just wait outside?
Yeah.
Cool. What about everybody else? I will say, to start it off, Gwen very quickly, shuts the book, sets it in her backpack. She leaves the room and then does not wait around for you guys. So, Marcel, as you're coming out, she walks past you and she just heads off on her own.
I'll be waiting in the hallway for them, kind of leaning against a wall, looking at my non-existent watch, waiting for them.
As I get up, I'm gonna kind of walk towards Rosari's and be like, well, Gwen's already left. So does that mean we've already failed this challenge?
Maybe she'll meet us there.
You have more faith than I do.
It's an interesting word, for sure. Let's just talk to everyone else. Perhaps we can salvage what grade we have left for this challenge.
Maybe we should send somebody else after Gwen. Not me. This time.
Well, let's talk to everyone else and see what we think. And
Right.
maybe Marcel's in a more social mood. It did not look like it.
He's
though.
acting weird.
There's something there, but I'm not good enough to know what it is. Let's go talk.
Can I, when we go out, if Marcel's around, I just kind of want to observe him and just read his body language and stuff.
Yeah, you can do it inside, I think.
Yeah, go for it.
He's not gonna hide it. He's just
I hope he's not hiding that because I got an 8.
If he's not hiding it, even on an 8, which is by no means super successful, go ahead and still tell us surface level what is obvious. And then obviously with Atheira having a little bit higher wisdom, even if she only rolled an 8, what might she pick up on?
Well, this is just the anyone with passive of 10 or whatever could just pick on that. Marcel is not his usual self. He's slouching. He's just kind of out of it a little bit. Professor Rant was there. He didn't even make one remark. This is a weird Marcel. This is like something very off. And you notice that he's hearing about the whole party. You think, oh, Marcel loves parties. This is going to be the best thing ever. But he's just kind of disinterested.
I'm gonna like notice that, look at the rest of the people that are in this party and go, oh my gosh. I'm thinking, I wish there was somebody else who was good with people in this party. Somebody needs to talk to Marcel, and I don't think I can do it.
Possibility. I could give it a shot.
Leo!
I can give it a shot. So I guess Leo's gonna walk over to. What's Marcel doing right now?
Oh, I thought you were saying, walking into what's your name again?
What's your
Marcel
name?
is
Yeah.
right now looking at his sword and just kind of sighing a little bit.
Okay. Leo's gonna walk up to Marcel and he's gonna be very blunt. He's gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Oh, hey, Leo.
Hey, Marcel. You okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was not reassuring at all.
Yeah. It's just him and Leo, right?
I mean, the others are nearby, but if you
Oh,
guys want this
everyone's just like
conversation-
looking. Ooh.
We can,
Hey, Marcel, I can see you.
we can walk away if you'd like to talk about it.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Sure, let's go. Excuse us, everyone. We'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, Roche Plaza is right in the middle of the forest, so you guys could easily just like walk down one of the trails for a minute.
Yeah. Holding hands. It's like, I love you, man.
Sure.
uh,
What's going on?
It's rough, man. That whole Lucian thing was a little too close to home.
How so?
Well, I guess I haven't had like, I mean, everyone has their own story of childhood and such. Mine wasn't good either. And the idea of being restrained and forced to live a life that you can't do anything was kind of reawakened after that little time. I don't hate Lucian. I never did. It was just that situation made it very difficult. And so for me, the only thing I could have done was just try to be more Marcel, but even then I kept feeling this restraint around me, like a tightening rope.
I understand.
And no matter how free I am, it just feels like it's still wrapped around me.
What can we do here to bring you back? If that makes sense.
Just bring you back, man. I need
Just
you.
come back to us, Marcel.
You can buy me a drink.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's
Yeah, man.
let's get a drink.
Fist bump, Leo.
Hey, is there somewhere close we can get a drink?
I mean, you guys could walk back up to campus, and there are some cafes on campus, and there are also some like bars on campus, essentially. So yeah, you guys could find a place.
Is there anywhere that's like super crazy right now?
I'm gonna say that as a group, you guys probably led by Leo and Marcel going first, but then the rest of the group follows not too long after. You guys go up and walk back up to the main campus. The central island seems to be quite populated right now. There are a lot of people walking and talking around right there. And then there is the Nura house would be pretty popular right now.
Nice. We want to go to that one.
Yeah. You guys walk in. It is sort of like a half cafe, half bar type thing. It's just the hangout spot on campus. There are a lot of upperclassmen hanging around right now who are talking, sitting at tables with some food, and it's right around dinner time, so they are probably eating and drinking something, maybe wine, maybe mead, who knows. But it's clear that like there's an event happening around campus right now. You guys walk in, and there's a table you guys can sit at for sure.
Can we walk up to the bar?
Yeah.
Perfect. So we're gonna walk up to the bar, and Leo's gonna slam his hand on the bar and say, "Bartender, a drink for my friend."
The bartender, who's like this sort of like more gruff, like late 20s, maybe early 30s guy, he just says, "You're gonna have to be more specific than that."
Marcel, what do you want to drink?
He looks to the wall and says, "Do you have any mead?"
Of course we do. He reaches up, grabs a glass, fills it, slides it over to you.
Thanks, man.
Nice. Then Leo's gonna say, and for everyone else, also, it's on me.
Everyone else, like everybody in the building?
Party. No. All the homies that's with us. No, I don't need to do all that.
Everyone in this piece of paper right here, I wrote down their names and their descriptions.
For Cyrus, Kieran, Atheira.
Cool. He looks around and counts, and he's like, all right, so we got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 4 more. He fills 4 more, sets them on the thing right there, and he says, right, that'll be 8 silver for you. Or,
Awesome.
Gold piece.
Awesome. I'm gonna slide this man a gold piece.
He takes it, kind of looks at you a little bit, sets it in his pocket, and he says, all right, I'll be back if you need anything else.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Gonna take my cup, and I'm gonna hold it up to cheers myself to better times.
Cheers. To friendship, bro.
To friendship, homie.
Oh.
Then I'm gonna drink.
All right, the rest of you, I'm assuming you followed in. There are these drinks waiting for you. Leo and Marcel are sitting at the bar, sort of clearly celebrating a little bit. You're free to do whatever you want.
And then I said, I won't burn the house. But guess what? The house still burned. I didn't know.
And what did you do?
I was very drunk. I was not sure how I escaped that predicament.
That's not
But
gonna
now I think
happen
some
now.
guy wants me dead.
What? Oh, hey, everyone else.
Oh, hey, guys.
How are you?
Rosari's is gonna look at his drink and then just offer it to Marcel because it looked like he downed his already.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and then I'll look at Leo and say, I appreciate the thought, but I don't drink.
That's very unfortunate. This is a team building exercise.
Yeah.
And I'm here
Hello,
to...
miss. Woo! Oh.
I will look after Marcel after the team building exercise is complete.
Sure. Everyone else going to drink?
Kieran's definitely already on top of that.
Nice.
He's got his glass of wine in hand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Somehow I got wine instead of me. That was the
Yeah, what happened?
What happened there?
I
Uh,
upgraded.
Wow. I'll take the thing of mead too, and I'll just like sip on it. I'm not going hog like these other guys, but I'm enjoying it.
How long? Like, is the events happening right now, and we have
Yeah.
to stay as a party the entire time?
Yeah.
Whether
Okay.
you guys have to stay as a party the entire time is completely up to interpretation, but the events are happening right now on the center island on campus, which Nura House is like right beside. So you guys not only hear people, but probably see them as well.
So if I were to
Like,
slip
walk out.
out and do something,
I'm gonna like look at the rest of the party. Does this count, or do we need to be at the actual event for our?
Marcel thinks, aren't we supposed to like talk to some upperclassmen?
We probably should go to the center island. We can come back after the event, Marcel, if you're still up for it.
Yeah, that'd be great, man.
Leo, is
Oh.
that fine with you? This was your idea.
Yes, yes. Let's go.
Nice. You guys begin to head out. Let me pull up the last of the characters that I need. But you guys head out of Nura House, and directly to your south, there is like this stream that runs across campus, and then an island sort of in the center. It's not even really an island, it's just the center area where the stream splits in two and then reconnects. Right across this short little, 5-7 foot bridge or so, is this center island that, as of right now, has multiple tables set up. There are people who are like sitting at some of these tables writing things. There are people who look to be playing like card games and things like that. A lot of, I'm not even going to say a lot of people. It's like 20 or so people might be sort of huddled around there talking.
Card games? Like spells, the collecting?
Spell the collecting. Terrible.
Playing some magic.
But as you guys approach, I'm going to say that there are a couple of things that you guys see. The first one is going to be there is like a central, almost like sign-in table where you see clearly an upperclassman girl with sort of long brown hair and glasses sitting there, like standing at the other side. A couple people walk up, she writes their names down, hands them a piece of paper, and then they go sit down at some of the tables set off to this left side of the island. On that left side of the island, you guys see a couple different people. One, Celia is there walking around looking like she's helping people with whatever's on this paper. There is Billy, Nelvin, and Simon. Billy looks to be attempting to flirt with Celia. Simon looks to be like struggling with whatever's on this paper, and Nelvin is just backing up Billy. There are a couple other upperclassmen you guys don't recognize, but you could easily like walk around and talk to them if you want to see them. But at first, the first person that you're going to see is this upperclassman girl that I'll show to you. As you guys approach, she beckons you over, and she, as you guys approach, without even introducing herself, just says, "What are your names?"
Leo?
Leo. All right, you got a last name, Leo?
Yes, but you probably cannot pronounce.
Just here, write it down. And she slides you the piece of paper, and you write it down. She starts looking to the rest of the people. You guys.
I'm
Marcel Acamelli.
Marcel Acamelli. Alrighty. She points to the next person.
Kieran McFinian at your service.
Kieran McFinian. She points at Atheira.
Atheira.
Atheira. No last name, difficult to pronounce.
Address Straya?
Address Straya. That sounds about right. She writes it down. Leo, you write yours on the paper and hand it back to her. She says, "All right." Grabs a couple pieces of paper. If you guys are interested in the club, you'll want to take these. If you have no interest in the club and you just want to play games, that's absolutely fine. But if you want to join at all, these are here. You can take them over there. Celia is helping people, fill it out. It's just an aptitude test for Magic, seeing where you're at, how helpful you'd be to the club. And, if you want to join, obviously I'd like for you to take it. But if you just want to hang out, that's fine too.
Rosaris is going to raise his hand and say, "I'm Rosaris. Can I also have a sheet of paper?"
Oh, yeah, Rosaris. Let me write that down. I don't know how I skipped you. Rosaris. Last name?
I don't have one.
Cool. I'll just leave that there. You said you want a sheet of paper?
Yeah, was I supposed to get one?
If you are interested in joining the club, yeah.
What's the club?
Yeah, what club is this?
Oh, here, I need to check other people in. If you guys will go talk to Galadier over there, he's the one at the dragon chess table. Just ask him about it. He can give you as much information as you want. I apologize. I am just very busy trying to manage all of the applicants. So please go see him. And then if you'd like a paper, return to me.
Marcel turns to Kieran and Rosarius. Guys, it's the club. Just like,
I'm gonna point towards Celia and say, if she's helping out, I'm gonna say it has to do with magic.
I'm so useful at that. I'm not good with magic, but I'm good at finding people with magic that don't like me.
With that, this girl points you to this sort of taller elven man. He's got like this deep purplish blue skin. He's got very like dark purplish blue hair, sort of cascading down. He's wearing nicer, almost like maroon colored robes. He is sort of at this set of tables with a couple of chessboards. So you guys see him, and then as Zirlith points to him, he sort of like perks his head up and sees you guys, gives a very friendly smile, waves you guys over, and waits for you guys to approach.
I'll approach with a giant smile on my face. Wonderful chessboards you have here.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. So my name's Galadir. I'm assuming you guys are first years. Would I be correct in that assumption?
In a way, yes.
In a way.
No, actually, it is. We are first years. Like,
That's
undoubtedly, yes.
We've been here for like a week.
Yeah, we're first years. This is our first year being here.
Yep. Okay. So, first years. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Zirlith told me that you needed some knowledge about the club. You had some questions. I'll give you the brief summary of it. Orda Arcana is the school's premier magic study and research club. If any of the wizard, sorcerer, warlock, bard, or even the other professors need assistance researching the applications of magic, enchantment, potion making, or anything of that nature, we are typically the first resource they go to. Because student research is such a big thing at the school, members like Zirlith, and he motions to the girl up at the front, Cilia over there, myself, he motions over to a half-orc that's like 10 feet away, sitting at a like card table. Pogug, we are always there to assist with the professor's research and ideally lead it.
As they were discussing about the research and all that stuff, you see Marcel slowly dozing off.
So,
Charles is gonna walk up and like put Marcel's head on his shoulder to let him just stay there.
do you guys deal with private matters as well, or only research for the university?
If the occasion calls for it, we have had some more private uses of the club, but that is on a case-by-case basis and on a member-by-member basis.
Noted.
He looks at Marcel, who's like starting to doze off, and gives like a sort of half smile. And he says, well, hey, it is wonderful to meet you all. I got your names from Zirlith. If you guys have any questions, I will be glad to answer them. If you'd like to play dragon chess, I will also be glad to give you a good challenge. I'll point you to some of the other activities that we have set up. He points to a half-orc who is like, about 10 feet away from him at a different set of tables. This half-orc, he's got like this messy brown hair. He's got like round glasses on his face. And you guys see that on one of his arms, he has like an elbow-length leather glove on, and he's playing this like card game. Galadir says, that's Pogug, if you guys would like to play his, literally his game that he invented called Iluko. It's very interesting. It's a card-based game. He points over to the like set of tables where some people are like talking or writing stuff on this paper. He says, Cilia is helping with the aptitude test and making sure people understand all of the questions. And then he motions to a group of 3 who you assume to be upperclassmen who are sitting at another set of tables. And he says, Elegnos, Enwin, and Anne over there are showing people how to transcribe spells. We're making healing potions here shortly. Lots of activities planned. So feel free, browse around, do whatever you'd like.
Yeah, thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, cheers.
He gives you guys a very friendly smile and he says, of course, I'm here to help if you need it.
Is it okay to bet money on these games?
No.
What's the point?
You could do that probably on your own time, but not at a club-sanctioned event, if I had to guess.
Okay, Kieran, me and you need to make a casino.
We do.
You would be free to do that.
I'm quite the card shark. Rawr.
Is there anything other booths Marcel can and the group can see?
No, it looks like to be just those couple that he listed out. So you have Dragon Chess that you could do. You have Illuco, that card game. You have the aptitude test if you want to join the club, and then you have the like group of upperclassmen who are talking to a couple of the first years right now, showing them like, tips for transcribing spells, and they're going to be making healing potions here shortly.
I'll take you up on that chest game if that's still an offer.
Absolutely. He motions his hand, and a mage hand pulls out the chair for you, and he sits down across from one of the chessboards.
Wizards are really cool, and I'm gonna sit down and like try to shake the mage hand, thinking.
He shakes your hand and then sets up the board very quickly. Before we even get to that, what are the rest of you doing?
Marcel is trying to play chess too, and then when he moves his pawn, he goes straight for the king and says, "Go fish."
I'm gonna say you sit down beside another one of these chessboards. Galadier is literally gonna like whoever wants to play. He's playing everyone unless they're like, "Oh, let's play together with 2 other people." So he sees you do that, and then his mage hand like picks up the pieces, and he says, "I can teach you how to play if you'd like."
Oh, I know how to play. Because I play it right.
Right.
Picks up pawn.
I'm gonna whisper
And
to
now
him
he's going to take like 30 minutes to try to figure out his first move.
I'm gonna whisper to him and say, "We stopped by Nura House before we came here."
I see. Right. Well, Marcel, it would appear that your strategy is simply better than mine. You have beaten me.
So you give up, so I win.
Yes.
Undefeated. Marcel gets up and walks away.
The rest of you, what are you doing? You guys can sit here and, hang out as a group. You could split up and go to these different tables. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna stay and watch the chess game between this upperclassman and Rosaris. I'm interested to learn how it works.
Cool.
I sent you a message.
I do not have Discord pulled up. Hold on.
Wow,
Lame.
DM. Wow.
Leo's gonna check out this chess match too.
With that being said, Rosaris, let's go ahead and...
This is not gonna go well.
Probably not,
Be
but
awful.
it's okay. We're going to do it anyway.
This is not gonna go.
Go ahead and make me just an intelligence check. Flat intelligence check.
And
Well, that is a
Wow.
natural 1 with a +2 modifier, so
Okay.
that is a 3.
that's good,
So
right?
you grab the pawn and say, "Go fish."
I wouldn't happen to have some sort of inspiration, would I?
No. You start by taking a piece and moving it the complete wrong way, to which Galadier just like very politely slides a piece of paper across the table that has the instructions for how each piece moves, and he says, "So that piece that you want, it actually moves diagonally. So it can jump through spaces, but it can't, pass through some like you just attempted."
Oh, sorry. I've only ever watched people play, so I thought I knew the rules. I'm sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine. You can keep the sheet, reference it.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
And Rosars is gonna like kind of eye him out of the corner of his eye as he's trying to quickly memorize all of these rules.
Yeah, with this first game, it is very clear that like he's not taking it super tough on you and still ends up winning. You have to reference the sheet multiple times, and you like make a couple stumbles in the moves, and you do not do very hot against him.
Can I try one last time?
Of course. I mean, no one else seems to be lining up to play, so be my guest.
They probably don't like to lose as much as I do, apparently.
That one.
I rolled a 3 + 2, so it's a 5. I do slightly better. It takes
Getting
some
better.
It takes some like 5 more moves to beat me.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
say this second game's a little bit different because now that you're getting the moves a little bit more memorized, it's still like you don't necessarily have the strategy of the game down. He does point out a couple times like, oh, that was actually a pretty good move because it could lead to this, and then he like does some other things to block that. As he's like, he's kind of guiding you, showing you.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I see. Well, hey,
You wanna play chess, Rosaris?
very good attempt.
When the game is over, I'm gonna be like, can I have a turn?
Sure, go ahead. Marcel and I apparently I think we're on the same speed, so
I
we'll play each other.
could play all of you at once.
Is that an insult to me or an insult to yourself?
You can play everyone at once.
At this point, both. Go ahead, sorry.
Whoever would like to play. I have 5 boards here. I can play all 5 at once. I could let you guys play each other. It's totally up to you.
I lean over to the party. I have to excuse myself for a second. I forgot something. And I kind of phase off for a second.
Oh, bye, Kieran.
Can I like see if he's being suspicious?
Insight versus
it is.
deception.
I'm always suspicious,
Yeah.
though.
You're always suspicious.
Marcel trusts Kieran.
Oh.
Kieran's a cool guy.
That's a
I
19.
yeah, I nat 1'd for a 6.
He's a cool guy, isn't he, Atheira? We really need to work on our roles, guys.
Atheira, I think you don't get to do it because Rosaris is like trying to talk to you about chess. So you are like
And I'm
trying
gonna
to
be
look
like,
at him, and I'm like, no, look at this piece. Look.
Sorry, I watched you play. That's why I watched.
I don't
learned.
think watching me play is a way to learn this game. What if we try to distract him and all 4 of us, Leo, you included, try to play him at once, and maybe that might balance things out.
Yeah, teamwork, guys.
Hopefully our cumulative intelligence might be half as much as his.
You realize negative also counts to the accumulative intelligence.
I am perfectly aware of that. Did you not see my first game?
I think I have second highest
second.
intelligence.
I don't know. I want to play. If other people want to play at the same time to see if we can distract him, I'm not
Sure.
against that.
Sure.
Let's
Sure.
do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Team building.
All right,
Team building.
all the boards are set up. The 4 of you sit across at the different boards, and he's like kind of in the middle. He says, "Right, go ahead and make your moves whenever you would like. I will keep an eye on all the boards and play as fast as I can, but do forgive me if I have to spend some time to think."
So we all roll intelligence?
Yep, everybody roll an intelligence check.
While everyone's doing that, I'll roll in a second. I want to specifically look to see how the 3 of them are playing. Like, do they know strategy? What are they doing? I'm slightly concerned about Marcel if he's actually playing for real or not. I'm gonna keep the sheet between me and him.
I will say, if you want to roll, let's call it an insight check. If you get above a 12, I'll give you a +1 to your intelligence roll. If you get above a 16, I'll give you a +2.
No, I got an 11. So.
Man, me and Rosaris, we're tied.
You're not really picking up on too much from them. You're watching them play, but it's
Oh,
kind of like
I'm not
no.
trying to learn the game from them. I'm trying to learn more about them, if that makes sense.
oh, on an
Like-
11. Okay, let's make these intelligence rolls, and then we'll see how you guys want to give him information based on that. So like, it could be as simple as Marcel doesn't take the game seriously. That's good.
I rolled an 8. I got an 8 for my intelligence, by the way.
You're getting progressively better.
I legitimately have a +2 to this roll, and I've rolled not above a 6 3 times.
Atheira, what was your intelligence?
17.
17. Oh, damn. Marcel with an 11, Rosaris with an 8, and Atheira with a 17. You guys all play as he's doing this, as he, as many as he can at a time. Leo, were you also playing?
Yes, I rolled a 12.
12. Sick. Everyone but Atheira, you guys have varying degrees of like, oh, that was actually a good move. I didn't think about that. And then he proceeds to still like beat you guys at this game without too much stress. Atheira, you managed to pick up on the game pretty quick. Maybe you've played it before. And as you guys are playing, in the times whenever he's like looking at the other boards and his mage hand is like moving pieces for him, you set up a nice little trap and managed to actually beat him in like the last couple of moves. Your game was obviously much more strategized than the rest probably who aren't as experienced.
Guys, I'm on the rope. I took down both of his castles. I think I won.
I am losing to Marcel.
Oh, good job, Marcel. You're doing great.
It's all thanks to the pony.
You're gonna look at my board, and it's just the king sitting by itself with all of his pieces surrounding it. It's just.
I'm gonna look over to Rosaris and be like, that really wasn't that hard.
Zar's just like,
Team building. Let's play each other.
yeah, sure.
Hey, you're
I'll go
on.
Rosaris.
I would really, Marcel, I would enjoy watching you and Leo play.
Leo.
Let's do it.
Come on, bro. King me, bro.
All right, as you guys set up, let's cover that insight roll. So you were trying to glean a little bit of information about the members of your party and how they approach this game. You didn't roll super high. You got an 11.
Yeah, I can't roll above a 10 on the dice.
Yeah.
So.
But let's go in this order: Atheira, Marcel, and Leo. Without being too obvious, like, how does your character approach this game? Is it very like tactical and strategic? Are they not taking it seriously? Do you have experience with it and this guy's just better than you? Like, what are some of the most obvious parts that Rosaris might get?
For Marcel, Rosaris would say that Marcel, as much fun as he's playing around, it's like he does know this game. But he's not playing like, gotta be deep. He's just like, it's like a chill day.
Yeah.
Leo's just playing for fun. It's nothing serious.
Yeah! Woo! Leo.
Fair enough.
I'm being very intentional about every move. A little bit slower in my decisions.
Interesting. Cool. Good to know.
Overachiever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Leo and
It's just
Marcel, you
natural
set up for a
genes.
game. Go ahead, roll those intelligence checks.
Okay.
14.
Oh, 6.
Aw,
It was
that would've
almost
been so
16.
funny.
Yes.
Damn.
It matches the story.
Yeah, Marcel, you're goofing off a little bit. Leo, also not taking it super seriously. You guys play, and Leo, you happen to just get like a really nice setup at the end, and you got Marcel.
Let's go.
Marcel, check. Leo, mate. Damn it!
Perfect. Good game.
Good game. King.
Galadier looks at all of you guys and he says, well, you guys did pretty good. You're free to hang out here if you'd like, but if you're interested in joining the club and assisting with any sort of magical research or application, talk to Zeroleth. I'd highly recommend meeting some of your other upperclassmen, even if you don't plan to join the club. He motions over, and Pogug, who's sitting at the other table, who he just beat Nelvin, that like white-haired kid that hangs out around Billy a lot. He just beat him in the game, and Nelvin's just like, dang, you're really good at this. And then they shake hands, and he heads off, and Pogug like waves him off. Galadier says, I would definitely recommend meeting Pogug. He's a character. He's a interesting person to know around campus.
Yeah, sounds like a cool dude.
Yeah, but
Right, Rosaris?
I'll bite. We can go talk to Pogug.
Kieran, you're sort of off doing your own thing. The four of you wander over to Pogug, who again is this half orc with sort of, messy, shorter, dark hair. He's got that like right arm with the leather glove up to his elbow, and he's like sitting there organizing some cards. Adjust his glasses a little bit as you guys walk up, and he just says, oh, hey, nice to meet you guys. I'm Pogug. What are your names?
Marcel.
Marcel. All right.
I'm Rosaris.
Rosaris. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Leogrin.
Leogrin.
Athera.
Atheira. Cool. Well, you guys want to play some Illico?
What?
He's like shuffling the cards as he says it, and he starts
Wait.
laying a couple out. And he's like,
I have a question.
yeah.
You made the game, right?
Yeah, I made this game up.
Where did the name come from? That's a strange name.
Well, Illu from illusion and Co from cards. It's an illusion card game. You want to play?
Hilarious.
Do you have the instruction sheet like that guy did?
I could describe how you play, but it's more luck based than it is strategy.
Oh,
Luck?
I'm full of luck. Deal.
sure. Well, I'll play with Marcel.
Cool. So you guys go ahead and sit down, and he starts like shuffling through the cards and handing some to you guys, and he says, "So here's how it's gonna work. You got your reserve of cards off to the side. You got 5 in your hand at all times. What you can do is at any point you can play up to 1 card of this game. Set it down. You can use it or you can wait, and then you draw extra cards to fill in that gap. The cards, again, Illuco, will create this illusion that comes to life, and then they will fight in the middle at the end of every round. And the person with the most rounds won wins."
Awesome. Where can I start?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
He shuffles out the cards and he says, "All right, so again, you can play as many cards as you want, but you only have this many in your reserves. So if you play all 5 of your cards this turn and you draw all 5 of your cards next turn on that 3rd round, you're not going to have any left, right? So strategize, play a little smart, but again, it's kind of luck based more than it is strategy. But go ahead. And again, it's just going to be an intelligence check."
Okay. I thought we were going to do a luck check. I was like, ooh.
Being smarter does help a little bit, but it's not like
I
solely
rolled an
intelligence-based.
18 this time. Let's go.
Let's go.
I like it.
14.
True
Yeah.
duelist. Master the cards.
You guys start these first couple of rounds. You play some stuff out, and then these little illusions appear of like soldiers with bows and swords and stuff like that, and they meet in the middle of the table and battle, and Zax ends up winning the first round. The second round goes by, and Marcel seems to get the upper hand. You set out like all 5 of your cards, and there's like a huge troll that comes out. There's some soldiers that are along with it. You have like a ballista in the back, and Rosarius is like, you're strategizing to win that last round, so you only put down like 2 or 3 cards. He easily wipes you. But on that last round, Rosarius has the upper hand. You play like a dragon card, and it flies by and just murders the rest of Marcel's stuff, and you win the first round.
Okay. Well, how did you get the dragon, man? Did you cheat? You cheated, didn't you?
I legitimately
Insight.
have. Go ahead. Honestly, go ahead. I'll figure out what I'm gonna respond to, whatever this is gonna be.
9. Yeah, you cheated.
Yeah. Honestly, because I know I did not cheat on that poor insight check, you think I'm hiding the fact that I'm cheating.
Mm-hmm.
He
Turns to Leo. He cheats.
Saw it. I saw it.
Pogo looks at you guys. He's like, "Wow, that was actually a pretty lucky draw. It's like I said, there's a bit of chance to this." And he collects y'all's cards and starts shuffling them up again. And he says, "You can play as many rounds as you like. Seems like you guys got the hang of it. It's pretty simple." He leaves the set of cards there, and he says, "I got a couple extra. If you guys, you could purchase them if you want. They do cost a little bit of money to make, so I gotta make sure that I can re-up. But if you guys really enjoy it, just let me know. I'm gonna go make sure that these other first years know about the amazingness that is Illuco."
Thanks, man. This was a lot of fun.
He gives you guys a nod and like walks over to another table where there's a couple other first years, namely Denny and Calypso, who are joining to sit down and play a game together. And I'll even pull up their pictures because I'm just like that. But what do you guys do as he sort of lets you guys sit there to continue playing?
So, what's your thoughts on the game, Rosarius? I thought it was kind of fun.
It was fun. I am not. Chess was interesting because I knew what the pieces were doing because of that sheet of paper, but then I drew whatever that word is, the dragon card, and that's makes the game pretty easy.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, you drew the dragon card. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Totally luck. Turns to Leo. He's just bragging at this point.
I no longer know what's going on.
Rosarius does not know how to respond to this situation, so he's just going to start shuffling the cards.
As you start shuffling, and I'm assuming the rest of you guys are just sort of chilling and hanging out.
Yeah, playing with Rosarius, like keeping an eye on him.
Soft voice that would be familiar to Leo. A girl named Tiffany, who's in your cleric classes, she walks up beside Denny and Calypso and sees that they're playing, and then looks over to you guys and sees that you guys have 2 people playing and then 2 people like just standing off to the side. And she walks over to you guys. She's just like, "Hey, oh, hey, Leo. Do any of you guys want to play? Denny and Calypso are currently playing a game, and I wanted to try it out if any of you guys are interested."
Sure.
Great.
Okay.
She goes around a table and pulls up a chair, and you sit at the other side, and she's just like, "All right, I think I know how to play. You just put down cards, right? It's pretty easy."
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea.
"Oh, well, let's figure it out." And she pulls
Let's
up
see
the
it.
cards, and she whispers over to Rosari. He's like, "Hey, how many do you get?"
5 in your hand to look at, and 5 on the table, I think, to draw from.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, thanks. And she goes back. She's like, "Yeah, I totally, know how to play this game. 5 in your hand, 5 in the thing." And she leans over and like winks at Rosari's. She sets down y'all's cards. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check. Ooh,
12.
9.
Nice.
Yeah, you end up like winning 2 out of the 3 rounds. It was fairly close, and she was just like, "Yeah, I think this game is luck because I thought I had such a good strategy, and then you just, pulled out stuff that I could not compete with. So, congratulations."
One of us is luckier.
I guess. You want to play again?
Sure.
All right, go ahead, roll one more.
Ooh, okay, that's a 4.
That's a 13. She beats you the second time. While you guys are playing, what about Rosari's and Marcel? What are you guys doing? And Atheira, I guess, if you're doing anything besides watching.
Atheira, would you like to play with Marcel? He thinks I'm cheating. So,
Well, that's why I'm going to be here, because only the truly good people win these games. Honesty.
I mean, it's luck.
Atheira, would
So-
you mind dealing for us so that Marcel cannot think I cheated?
True, yeah. Perfect. I like that.
I just kind of roll my eyes and I pick up the cards and I'll deal for them. And as I'm dealing, I'll be like, "Do you think we've been here long enough yet?"
Wait, can you deal as a bear?
I like freeze. Like I don't even know how to answer that question, and then just go, "I haven't tried."
Let's not, because I don't want to pay for the deck of cards when your claws destroy them.
True.
I just shake my head and I finish dealing.
Yeah, you guys can go ahead and make your intelligence rolls. Same with Leo and Tiffany, because she's going to be like, "Now we got to break the tie."
I'm 4.
Okay, Marcel rolled a 1, nat 1. So, here we go. This is what happens. When he was thinking about the bear, he was like, "Okay, draw on me 5." He didn't think about how it's supposed to go, and so now there's a whole round where he can't even draw a card, and he was like, "Oh," and they're all like the weakest cards he could have drawn. It's like,
Rosarius just sees him absolutely blunder and is just going to put out like the bare minimum to beat him for
The
that
bare
round.
minimum.
Yeah, I know. I made it fun.
just A goblin.
Yeah, Rosari sweeps with one goblin. What about Leo? How are you and Tiffany doing? What'd you roll?
I rolled very low. It was a 5.
Nice. She got a 12, so she's gonna beat you again. And she plays her cards, ends up winning 2 out of the 3 of the rounds, and she's like, well, this is pretty fun. But I think I'm gonna go learn how to make healing potions. So I appreciate the games. I'll catch you in class tomorrow. Yeah.
Yep. See you in class.
She shoots you a finger gun and then, skips off to the other area. You guys are left to sit there. You could play for a little bit, but go ahead and tell me just the next thing that you guys do. How long do you stay there? What are your plans after? Do you want to go make healing potions, or are you guys just like, we showed up, we're going home?
Atheira's kind of feeling we showed up, I'm ready to go whenever is looking to see if it's socially appropriate to leave yet. If she
Marcel
can even tell that.
thinks for himself for a bit. It's like, okay, what would be the most appropriate time to leave? I got it. Marcel takes off his shirt and then runs into the stream and then jumps at Earl Loomis!
I'm gonna lean over to Rosarius and go, he's back.
And it doesn't
from
matter
his
how
again.
shallow it could be, it's like just like a tiny little pebble, and he'll still jump in.
I mean, it's deep enough to like chill in. It's not like super deep, but you can like go, you splash in into the river. A couple of people you just hear murmuring about Marcel, some of the other people who were nearby. You guys who are sitting at the tables hear like Denny and Calypso talk. Denny's like, oh no, not again. And then Calypso is just like, yeah, that's the guy from down the hall. And then Marcel belly flops into the river.
Then you notice like 3 dancing little Marcels, like flying above the water, and then an Eldritch Blast shoots between them all, like making a spectacle.
He is putting on a show. You hear a message pop into your head. It's the voice of the girl who was at the table, and she says, "You're free to be goofy as much as you want, but if you want to apply to be in the club, this is not how we use magic."
Oh, don't worry about it. We're actually about to head out. I just wanted to make a splash.
You reply back to that message, Cantrip, and she does not say anything else.
And also the parts that that part's also important.
For sure.
Rosarius is just gonna walk up to the girl that was checking people in, just say like, I'm going to be honest, I'm not very good with magic, so I'm not good with the club, but I had fun learning the 2 games we learned.
She gives you a sort of like very quick half smile. She just says, "It's good that you know where your talents lie. I would hate for you to join the club and then feel very out of place, so I appreciate it."
But there is someone usually from our party named Lucian. I think even if he doesn't apply, y'all should look into him.
I have heard the name. I will see if I can find a face to put to it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Marcel, get out of the water! And I'm gonna like walk
Yes,
over and try
if
to corral
if
Marcel.
you don't mind grabbing your friend, you go get Marcel. While all of this is happening and you guys are prepping to leave, Kieran.
Marcel's like, no. It's like a disappointed dad. Like, get out of the water.
As they go to get you out, I need something a little more spooky. Kieran, you left pretty early. Where are you going and what are you doing?
I'm heading towards Marcel's room.
Sure.
I'm kind of I'm not sneaking, but I'm kind of shadowing everyone who's in the hallway. If I see anyone, kind of just not paying attention to anyone to draw no attention to myself. And I'm gonna draw a flower out from my like armor, just like a little black flower, and kind of look down at it and have some flashbacks of my past. And I kind of cry a little, like a little tear, and then I smile and say, "This will be nice and quick. I'll make it done. Not like I used to." as I head to his room.
Sure. You go to his room, to which, let me pull up his information really quick. He's not there. His roommate's not there. The door is locked.
That's not an issue.
Yeah. So to let you know, Sorosh Hall is mostly made up of like these sort of tower rooms. They're split up between like first, second, and third year tower, and then there's like 2 rooms on the first floor, the second floor, and then the third floor. You're up on the second floor at his room. The door is locked. How are you approaching the situation? Guide me through it.
My plan was, if no one was there, pick the lock. If I can't get in through the lock, let's see if I can get in around through the window.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, being a rogue, you literally are just like born with thieves' tools in your hand. Go ahead and give me a thieves' tool check, which I believe we have a custom skill made for. It's based off of sleight of hand, but it can scale differently. But go ahead and make that check for me.
Oof, that's an 8.
An 8 is not gonna do it. You begin to pick the lock, and you feel like there's one of 2 options here. One, it is magically protected, and you're not gonna be able to pop it open with just any normal set of lockpicks. Or 2, these locks are literally structured differently, and you're just not gonna be able to get in. Even if you sit here and attempt it for a while, you don't think any success is gonna come.
I'm going to kind of study the lock and see if there's a weak point on it.
Give me some more information. Like, what are you specifically looking for, and how are you investigating it?
So, certain locks have a weak point where now I'm not being all stealthy. Now I'm going to be dagger into the spot of the weak point, break the door open.
Gotcha.
If there is one.
If that's, I think I get what you're saying. Almost like the credit card trick where you can like pry open the locking mechanism and just pop it and the door swings open.
A lot of medieval doors had those too.
Ooh,
So.
yeah. I get what you're saying. Give me a... Go ahead and roll an attack with your dagger. The DC is pretty high for this, to do it, especially on the first time, without any bad repercussions.
18.
18's pretty solid. I'm going to let you choose one of 2 negative things to happen. One, you either leave very, very obvious permanent marks that the door was tampered with, or B, it's going to be really loud. Which one would you rather do?
Fun. I'm gonna go with loud.
Cool. You look around. There's no one in the hallway. You grab your dagger, and you, with the back of the hilt, you get your palm and you like smack it into that crevice between the lock of the door and the frame. The dagger plunges in. You feel the lock slip and click as the door like shutters open as a super loud crack as you like smack your dagger through the crevice in the door.
I'm gonna quickly slip in, look around, because he mounted it up on the wall, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna say let's
Well,
leave
you
this
weren't
to
there.
Marcel. Marcel, just go ahead and describe your room to us,
Oh, okay.
or
Well,
your side of it at least.
Yeah, my side. Well, most rooms you pass by seem to be very clean and neat with their notes and stuff. You notice that there's one room that seems to be Marcel-ified. Bunch of cuts, writings on the wall, probably by his sword. Plenty of scrap pieces of paper that he just drew on the ground when he's not using. And most of all, you see on the ceiling is the ink head looking right down on him. So every time he wakes up, he can see it.
How did you get that up there?
You'll be surprised what people with Mage Hand can do.
Oh yes. How high up is it?
That's up to DM how high up is the ceiling.
I mean, the rooms, the ceilings are probably about 12 feet or so. They're kind of tall, but it's up to you how high up the wall you want to make it.
Ceiling, you said.
Or yeah, you said
I'll
on the
say
ceiling?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then it's about 12 feet up.
Is there any shelves around?
The rooms do come standard with the bed, a desk, and then like, especially in this dorm building, like multiple bookshelves. You could attempt to climb up them, and then you would probably be able to stand on one and reach the ceiling pretty easily.
I'm gonna grab up my rope. I'm gonna tie a little slip knot. I'm going to get up on the shelf, and I'm gonna lasso onto it and jump and pull down.
Onto the head?
Yeah, so lasso onto the head, pull it, and then use my body weight to pry it off.
Cool. First things first. This is a very low DC, but we're just going to see if anything goes wrong. You're getting on top of the shelf, right?
Yes.
Give me an acrobatics check to climb the shelf.
That's the one thing I'm not trained in. Whew, 19, okay.
You're solid. You climb up it, it wobbles a little bit, but you're like, okay, I can see where the center of gravity is. I know how to, maneuver this thing. You climb to the top and you very carefully stand on it. Now give me a sleight of hand check to lasso this head, and then pulling it down is not going to be the hard part.
24.
Someone's rolling well tonight.
I'm making up for the first session.
Yeah. You take this lasso, take it. I'll actually let you describe what this looks like on a 24. That's a very glaring success.
I quite nice and casually lasso right underneath the neck where it's connecting to the ceiling, and I fully pull down on it so it kind of makes like a slip right underneath the neck, and then I jump down to hopefully snap it off whatever's on the ceiling.
Yeah, Marcel, assuming that you didn't use anything super crazy to mount this thing, which I don't know if you would have, you do pull it down. It's very obvious that something was mounted up there, and then it was like pulled off, as there's like a couple of most of the building is made out of like stone with wood accents and stuff like that, as like some of the spots where this thing was like screwed in to mount onto the wood accents was like pulled open and the wood pried and split. But you got the head. You jump off the bookshelf, you land with a thud on the cobblestone floor, it falls down and you catch it, and you have this big ass Ankh head.
I leave on his bed the black flower with a small little note, and I take off. I put the ink head in a little bag and I take off.
I'm gonna say you stuff it in like a backpack or something, because it's kind of big.
It's not a little head.
Yeah.
No.
It's not something you could stick in like a duffel bag. Like your backpack, it's empty and you fill it with that, and then like still it doesn't fully zip up. But with that, you take it, you slip out of the door, you pull it back closed. You look up and down the hallway. Luckily, as luck would have it, most of the people who live in this hall are probably out at the Orda Arcana meeting right now, because this is the magic dorm. So logically, there's not many people here. But you head out, seemingly unseen, and you're gone.
Wonderful. Heist complete.
Heist complete. For the rest of my nerds over there, Rosaris, Atheira, Marcel, and Leo, the last thing we heard was you guys were getting Marcel out of the river and probably leaving. Is that accurate, or are you doing anything else?
It's accurate for Marcel.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like it's time to go.
Cool. You guys gather up as a group, you head out, and then leave the Orda Arcana meeting. Go back to your rooms and enjoy the rest of your night.